Introducing Volume 1 of the series Enchanted Labyrinth, The First Gateway. An audiobook written by Jack Jellybean. Narrator, the Keeper of the Labyrinth. Episode 1, The Discovery. Welcome, dear listeners, to the beginning of an extraordinary adventure. I am the Keeper of the Labyrinth, your guide through the wonders that await. Today we embark on a journey to a place where magic and mystery dance together in perfect harmony. The Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a lush, verdant forest. The afternoon sun filters through the canopy, creating dappled patterns of light on the moss-covered ground. The air is sweet with the scent of wildflowers and carries the gentle melody of birdsong. This is where our story begins, where 5 young explorers are about to make a discovery that will change their lives forever. Meet Luca, with his bright, curious eyes and a backpack full of gadgets. His mind works like a puzzle box, always seeking patterns and solutions. Beside him stands Maya, her sketchbook tucked under her arm, ready to capture every moment of their adventure with her artistic flair. Aiden walks with measured steps, his logical mind already calculating distances and possibilities. Zara moves with dreamy grace, her gaze catching the subtle details others might miss. And together they follow a hand-drawn map that Luca discovered in his grandmother's attic just last week. "I think we're close," Luca whispers, his voice tinged with excitement as he studies the worn parchment in his hands. The map shows a clearing with a circle of stones just ahead. The friends push through a curtain of hanging vines, and suddenly the forest opens up before them. There, bathed in golden afternoon light, stands a perfect circle of ancient stones, each one taller than the children themselves. In the center of the circle lies what appears to be an ornate compass, rose embedded in the earth, its metal surface gleaming despite its apparent age. "C'est magnifique!" exclaims a melodic voice from behind them. The children turn, startled, to find a young woman with a light scarf dancing in the breeze and a chic beret perched atop her dark curls. She approaches with a warm smile that immediately puts them at ease. "Pardon?" she says with a gentle laugh. "I did not mean to frighten you. Je m'appelle Éloïse. I am Éloïse." She gestures to herself, then extends her hand in greeting. Luca steps forward first. "I'm Luca," he says, shaking her hand. "And these are my friends, Maya, Aiden, and Zara." "Enchanté," Éloïse responds, her eyes twinkling. "It means delighted to meet you. And what brings you to this special place?" Maya holds up her sketchbook, showing a drawing of the stone circle that matches exactly what stands before them. "We found a map," she explains. "It led us here, but we don't know why." Eloise's smile deepens. "Ah, then you have been chosen," she says mysteriously. "The labyrinth has called to you." "Labyrinth?" Aiden questions, looking around at the stone circle. "I don't see a labyrinth." "That is because you have not yet found the entrance," Eloise replies. She walks to the center of the circle, where the compass rose gleams in the sunlight. This is not just a compass, it is a key. The children gather around as Eloise kneels beside the metal design. "In a labyrinth," she explains, "one must always know where one is going and where one has been." A compass helps us find our way, n'est-ce pas? It shows us north, south, east, and west. Luca's eyes light up with understanding. It's a navigational tool. Exactement, Éloïse nods approvingly. Exactly right. And in this special place it is also the key to something magical. She places her hand on the compass rose and turns it gently. The metal design rotates smoothly, and as it does, a soft humming fills the air. The ground beneath their feet begins to vibrate, and the children step back in alarm. Do not be afraid, Éloïse assures them. Watch. As the compass rose completes its rotation, the earth in the center of the stone circle begins to shift and part, revealing a spiral staircase descending into darkness below. Voila! Éloïse gestures toward the opening with a flourish. The entrance to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. The children stare in wonder at the staircase, a mixture of excitement and apprehension on their faces. But why us? Zara asks softly. Why did the map find its way to Luca? Éloïse's expression grows thoughtful. The labyrinth chooses those with curious minds and brave hearts. It seeks those who wish to learn and discover. And now it has chosen you. She steps toward the staircase and turns back to face them, extending her hand. Will you come? Will you discover the wonders that await below? The children exchange glances, a silent conversation passing between them. Then one by one they nod. We'll come, Luca decides, speaking for the group. But we should map our route as we go so we can find our way back. A wise precaution, Éloïse agrees. In the labyrinth, knowing your path is essential. As they prepare to descend, Éloïse teaches them their first French phrases. Allons-y means let's go, and suivez-moi means follow me. The children repeat the phrases, their voices blending together in the quiet clearing. Then, with Éloïse leading the way, they begin their descent into the unknown. The staircase spirals downward, illuminated by an ethereal blue light that seems to emanate from the very walls. The air grows cooler, carrying a hint of something ancient and mysterious. And with each step, the outside world fades away, replaced by the promise of adventure that awaits in the depths of the enchanted labyrinth of Luminaria. Now, dear listeners, as our explorers reach the bottom of the staircase, they face their first choice. Before them stretch two passages, one bathed in warm, golden light that seems to pulse with a gentle rhythm, and the other illuminated by cool, silver light that shimmers like starlight on water. Which path should they take? The golden passage that beckons with warmth and comfort, or the silver one that promises mystery and wonder? Close your eyes and imagine which one calls to you. Which path would you choose to begin your journey through the labyrinth? As you ponder this choice, remember that in the enchanted labyrinth of Luminaria, every decision shapes the adventure that follows, and no matter which path you choose, wonders await around every corner. Join us next time as our explorers make their choice and venture deeper into the labyrinth, where they will meet the mysterious keeper and discover the true nature of this magical realm. Until then, au revoir, mes amis. Goodbye, my friends. May the magic of the labyrinth inspire your dreams. End of episode 1. Episode 2. Meeting Éloïse. Bonjour, mes amis. Welcome back to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. I am the keeper of the labyrinth, and I'm delighted to continue our journey together. When we last parted, our young explorers, Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara, had just descended the spiral staircase with their newfound guide, Éloïse, and faced their first choice, a passage of golden light or one of silver light. Close your eyes and imagine the scene. 5 silhouettes at the foot of an ancient staircase, their faces illuminated by the gentle glow of 2 diverging paths. After a moment of contemplation, they chose the golden passage, drawn by its warm, inviting radiance that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of a heartbeat. As they step into the golden corridor, the walls around them begin to shimmer. What appeared to be solid stone now reveals intricate mosaics depicting winding paths and mysterious symbols. The air is pleasantly warm, carrying the faint scent of honey and summer flowers. Their footsteps echo softly against the smooth floor, creating a gentle melody that seems to welcome them deeper into the labyrinth. C'est beau, n'est-ce pas? Éloïse says, her voice soft with reverence. It is beautiful, isn't it? It's amazing, Maya breathes, her artist's eyes drinking in every detail. She reaches for her sketchbook, eager to capture the golden light playing across the ancient mosaics. Éloïse smiles at Maya's enthusiasm. The labyrinth is always changing, always revealing new wonders. It responds to those who enter it, creating paths that reflect their hearts and minds. The corridor gradually widens, opening into a circular chamber with a domed ceiling. Above them, the dome appears to be made of glass, revealing a sky full of stars, though they know they are deep underground. In the center of the chamber stands a round table of polished stone, its surface etched with the same compass rose they saw at the entrance. Welcome to the Chamber of Introductions, Éloïse announces, gesturing around the room. This is where I properly welcome new explorers to the labyrinth. She walks to the table and invites the children to gather around. Before we continue our journey, we must get to know each other better. In France, introductions are very important. We greet each other with bonjour during the day and bonsoir in the evening. The children repeat the greetings, their voices echoing pleasantly in the domed chamber. Très bien! Éloïse claps her hands together. Very good! Now, when we meet someone for the first time, we say enchanté or enchantée. If you are a girl, it means delighted to meet you. As they practice these phrases, Aiden notices something curious about the table. The compass rose, he says, pointing to the etching. It's moving. Indeed, the etched design is slowly rotating, the cardinal point shifting position. As it turns, the starry sky above them begins to change as well, the constellations rearranging themselves into new patterns. The labyrinth is mapping itself to you, Éloïse explains. It is learning who you are, so it can guide you to the discoveries you seek. But how does it know what we're seeking? Zara asks, her dreamy eyes following the movement of the stars overhead. Éloïse's smile deepens. The labyrinth knows what you need to discover, even if you do not know it yourself. She places her hand on the rotating compass rose, and it stops moving. The chamber fills with a soft golden light that seems to emanate from the table itself. Now, Éloïse says, I will tell you a little about myself, and then you will share something about yourselves. This is how we become friends in the labyrinth." She takes a seat at the table and gestures for the children to join her. As they settle into their chairs, the seats adjust to fit each of them perfectly. "Je viens de Paris," Éloïse begins. "I come from Paris, the capital city of France. I have been a guide in the labyrinth for—" She pauses, a mysterious smile playing on her lips. "Well, time works differently here. Let us just say, I have been here long enough to know many of its secrets, but not so long that I have discovered them all." She tells them about her love of art and French cuisine, about the gardens of Versailles where she used to sketch as a young girl, and about her passion for sharing the beauty of her language with others. "Et maintenant," she says, turning to Luca, "it is your turn. Tell us something about yourself." Luca straightens in his chair, his eyes bright with excitement. "I love solving puzzles and figuring out how things work," he says. "My room at home is full of gadgets I've taken apart and put back together. That's why I was so interested in the map that led us here. It was like a puzzle waiting to be solved." Maya goes next, describing her passion for art and storytelling. "I want to capture moments and feelings in my drawings," she explains, "to create something beautiful that tells a story without words." Aiden speaks of his love for logic and order, how he finds comfort in understanding the rules that govern the world. And Zara shares her fascination with dreams and the unseen connections between things, how she often notices patterns and meanings that others miss. As each child speaks, the compass rose on the table shifts slightly, and the stars overhead rearrange themselves once more. By the time they have all shared, the ceiling shows a completely new night sky, with 5 bright stars forming a distinct pattern. "Look," Éloïse points upward. "The labyrinth has created a constellation for your group. This will be your guide as you navigate the paths ahead." The children gaze up in wonder at their personal constellation, a symbol of their unique combination of talents and personalities. "Now," Éloïse continues, "we must learn how to navigate. In the labyrinth, knowing directions is essential." She points to the compass rose: Nord, Sud, Est, West, North, South, East, West. These will help you find your way. She teaches them more directional terms in French. À gauche for left, à droite for right, tout droit for straight ahead, and en arrière for behind. As they practice these new words, the compass rose begins to glow more brightly. Suddenly, 4 doorways appear in the chamber walls, one in each cardinal direction. "The labyrinth is ready to offer you a choice," Éloïse explains. "Each doorway leads to a different part of the labyrinth, a different adventure." The north doorway glows with a cool blue light, suggesting mysteries and hidden knowledge. The east doorway shimmers with a vibrant green, hinting at growth and discovery. The south doorway pulses with a warm red, promising challenges and excitement. And the west doorway gleams with a soft purple, whispering of dreams and imagination. "Before you choose," Éloïse says, "you must create your first map." In the labyrinth, mapping your journey is not just about recording where you've been, it's about understanding the connections between places and ideas. She produces a blank scroll from a hidden compartment in the table and hands it to Luca. "As our navigator, You will keep our map, but everyone will contribute to it. Luca unrolls the scroll to find that it already shows the entrance and the golden passage they followed to reach this chamber. How did it know? He asks in amazement. Éloïse's eyes twinkle. The labyrinth remembers every step you take. Your task is to understand the meaning of the path. Together, the children begin to create their map, with Luca drawing the basic layout, Maya adding artistic details, Aiden noting cardinal directions and distances, and Zara marking the emotional qualities of each space they've encountered. As they work, Éloïse teaches them more French phrases. Je comprends, for I understand. Je ne comprends pas, for I don't understand. And pouvez-vous m'aider? For can you help me? When their map is complete, showing both where they've been and the 4 doorways that await them, Éloïse rolls it carefully and returns it to Luca. Now, you must choose, she says, gesturing to the 4 doorways. Which direction will you explore first? The children gather in the center of the chamber, studying the glowing doorways and considering their options. Each doorway calls to them in different ways, promising unique adventures and discoveries. Which path will they choose? The cool blue of the north, the vibrant green of the east, the warm red of the south, or the soft purple of the west? As you ponder this choice, dear listeners, remember that in the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria, every direction offers its own wonders and challenges, and no matter which path our explorers choose, their journey is just beginning. Join us next time as our adventurers make their choice and face their first real challenge in the labyrinth, a test that will require all their combined skills and the guidance of their new constellation. Until then, au revoir et à bientôt. Goodbye and see you soon. End of episode 2. Episode 3, The Keeper's Challenge. Bonjour et bienvenue, dear listeners. Welcome back to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. I am the keeper of the labyrinth, and today our adventure continues. When we last left our young explorers, Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara, they stood with Éloïse in the Chamber of Introductions, facing 4 glowing doorways, each promising a different path through the labyrinth. After careful consideration, they chose the eastern doorway, drawn by its vibrant green light that seemed to pulse with the energy of growth and discovery. As they step through the threshold, the air around them shifts, becoming fresher and carrying the scent of rain-washed leaves and rich soil. Bienvenue au Jardin de la Découverte, Éloïse announces as they enter a vast chamber unlike anything they've seen before. Welcome to the Garden of Discovery. Imagine, if you will, a massive underground garden bathed in a soft light that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Towering trees with luminescent leaves stretch toward a ceiling too high to see. Crystal clear streams wind between beds of flowers that glow with colors more vibrant than any found in the world above. Pathways of smooth stones meander through the garden, occasionally crossing over the streams on delicate bridges that appear to be made of woven moonlight. C'est incroyable! Maya gasps, her eyes wide with wonder. It's incredible. Très bien, Maya. Éloïse smiles approvingly. Your French is improving already. The children move deeper into the garden, marveling at plants they've never seen before, flowers that change color as they pass, vines that seem to dance to an unheard melody, and fruits that glow like jewels among the foliage. "How is this possible?" Aiden asks, his logical mind struggling to make sense of the underground paradise. "There's no sunlight down here, yet everything is growing." "The labyrinth has its own magic," Éloïse explains. "It provides what is needed for life and beauty to flourish." As they follow a path of emerald stones, Luca diligently updates their map, marking the twists and turns of their route. Suddenly Zara stops, her head tilted as if listening to something only she can hear. "There's someone else here," she whispers. The others fall silent, and now they too can hear it, a soft humming coming from somewhere ahead. They follow the sound until they reach a small clearing where a figure sits on a bench of twisted roots, tending to a patch of unusual flowers. The flowers appear to be made of paper, their delicate petals covered in writing in various languages. The figure looks up as they approach, and the children see a person of indeterminate age with kind eyes that seem to hold the wisdom of centuries. This is the keeper of the labyrinth, though the children do not yet know it. "Ah, visitors," the keeper says, rising from the bench with a warm smile, "and guided by Éloïse, no less. You must be special indeed." Éloïse bows her head slightly in greeting. "These young explorers have been chosen by the labyrinth," she explains. "They found the map." The keeper's eyes twinkle with interest. "Did they now?" "How fascinating." The keeper turns to address the children directly. "And what do you seek in the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria?" The children exchange uncertain glances. They hadn't really thought about what they were seeking. They had simply followed the map out of curiosity. "We want to explore," Luca finally answers, "to discover the secrets of this place." "Knowledge," Aiden adds. "Beauty," Maya contributes. "Understanding," Zara says softly. The keeper nods thoughtfully. "All worthy pursuits, but the labyrinth does not reveal its secrets easily. Those who wish to explore its depths must first prove themselves worthy." "How do we do that?" Luca asks eagerly. The keeper gestures to the paper flowers. "These are the flowers of knowledge. Each contains a piece of wisdom from the many travelers who have passed through the labyrinth over the centuries. To proceed deeper, you must solve the challenge hidden within them." The keeper plucks 4 flowers and hands one to each child. Each flower contains a clue. Together they will lead you to the key that unlocks the next chamber. But be warned, the flowers will only reveal their secrets to those who approach them with the right perspective. As the children examine their flowers, they discover that the writing on the petals shifts and changes, sometimes appearing as symbols, sometimes as words in languages they don't recognize. "How are we supposed to read these?" Aiden asks, frustrated. The keeper smiles mysteriously. "The labyrinth speaks in many languages. Perhaps your French guide can help you find a common tongue." Éloïse steps forward. "In France, we have a saying. Pour comprendre une langue, il faut comprendre une culture." To understand a language, one must understand a culture. Perhaps the flowers respond to cultural understanding. She suggests they try speaking to the flowers in French, teaching them phrases like "s'il vous plaît," for please, and merci for thank you. Luca tries first, holding his flower gently and saying, S'il vous plaît, montre-moi ton secret. Please show me your secret. To everyone's amazement, the writing on his flower stabilizes, forming a clear message in a language they can understand. Look not with your eyes, but with your mind. Encouraged, the others try as well. Maya's flower reveals, the path forward is not always straight. Aiden's shows, what seems far may be near, and what seems near may be far. And Zara's displays, the true map lies within. These aren't very specific clues, Aiden points out, his brow furrowed in concentration. Perhaps we need to combine them somehow, Maya suggests. The keeper watches them with interest as they gather in a circle, placing their flowers together on a flat stone to study the clues as a group. The true map lies within, Zara repeats thoughtfully. Could it be referring to our own map? Luca pulls out the scroll Éloïse gave them, unrolling it on the stone beside the flowers. As soon as the map touches the stone, the flowers begin to glow, their light pulsing in a synchronized rhythm. Look! Maya points to the map. Something's happening. Before their eyes, new markings appear on the map, faint at first, then growing stronger. A network of lines spreads across the parchment, connecting the places they have already visited in an intricate pattern. It looks like a constellation, Zara observes, like the one the labyrinth created for us in the Chamber of Introductions. The path forward is not always straight, Aiden murmurs, studying the new lines. I think these are showing us hidden connections between different parts of the labyrinth. And look here, Luca points to a spot on the map that now glows with the same green light as the eastern doorway they chose. This must be where we are now. As they watch, a new path illuminates on the map, leading from their current location to a chamber they haven't yet visited. But the path doesn't follow any of the visible routes in the garden. What seems far may be near, and what seems near may be far, Maya recites. Maybe the distances in the labyrinth aren't what they appear to be. Look not with your eyes, but with your mind, Luca adds. We need to think differently about how to navigate. Éloïse, who has been quietly observing, now steps forward. In the labyrinth, navigation is not just about physical movement, it is also about intention and perception. The keeper nods approvingly. Your guide speaks wisely. The labyrinth responds to how you perceive it. If you believe a path exists, it may appear for you. So we need to imagine the path, Zara asks, her eyes lighting up with understanding. Not just imagine it, the keeper corrects. You must believe in it with conviction. You must map it in your minds as clearly as it is drawn on your parchment. The children gather around the map again, studying the glowing path that leads to the unknown chamber. Luca traced it with his finger, committing every turn to memory. Aiden calculates the distances and angles, creating a mental model of the route. Maya visualizes the path as a story, a journey with a beginning, middle, and end. And Zara feels the emotional quality of the path, its purpose and meaning. I think we're ready, Luca announces after they've all had time to internalize the map. The keeper gestures to a solid wall of dense foliage at the far end of the garden. Your path begins there, where no path seems to exist. Remember what you've learned and trust in your shared understanding. The children approach the wall of leaves, which appears completely impenetrable. They stand before it, uncertain despite their preparation. What do we do now? Maya whispers. We believe, Zara answers simply. She closes her eyes and extends her hand toward the foliage. The path is here. I can feel it. One by one, the others join her, each holding on to their conviction that the path exists. As they stand together, eyes closed and hands extended, a soft rustling sound makes them look up. The leaves are parting, revealing a narrow passage that wasn't there before. You've passed the first part of my challenge, the keeper says, appearing beside them. You've learned to see beyond appearances and to trust in your collective wisdom, but the journey ahead will test you further. The path you've revealed will lead you to the Chamber of Echoes, where you must solve another puzzle to proceed. What kind of puzzle? Aiden asks. The keeper smiles mysteriously. One that will require you to listen as carefully as you have learned to see. The Chamber of Echoes holds memories of all who have passed through the labyrinth. Some of these memories contain vital knowledge. Others are merely distractions. You must learn to distinguish between them. How will we know which is which? Luca asks. That, the keeper says, is part of the challenge, but I will give you one hint. In the Chamber of Echoes, French is the language of truth. Remember what Éloïse has taught you. With these cryptic words, the keeper steps back, gesturing for them to proceed through the newly revealed passage. I will await you on the other side, Éloïse tells them. This part of the journey you must undertake alone. But remember what you have learned. Nord, Sud, Est, West for directions, and je comprends and je ne comprends pas to express understanding. These may help you navigate the echoes. The children nod, gathering their courage. With Luca in the lead, map in hand, they step into the passage, which immediately begins to wind and twist in ways that seem to defy the laws of physics. As they disappear into the passage, the keeper turns to Éloïse with a knowing smile. They show great promise, these young explorers. Éloïse nods in agreement. They do. Each brings something unique to their journey. And what of the butterfly? The keeper asks. Have they noticed it yet? Not yet, Éloïse replies, but they will, when the time is right. The keeper nods, satisfied. The labyrinth has chosen well. Now we must see if they can navigate the echoes and find their way to the truth that awaits them. And so, dear listeners, our explorers venture deeper into the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria, facing the keeper's challenge with courage and determination. Will they find their way through the Chamber of Echoes? What truths and distractions await them there? And what is this mysterious butterfly that the keeper and Éloïse speak of? Join us next time as our adventure continues and our young heroes discover that in the labyrinth, the way forward often depends on how well you listen to the past. Au revoir, mes amis, until we meet again. End of Episode 3. Episode 4, Hidden Pathways. Bonjour, mes chers amis. Welcome back to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. I am the keeper of the labyrinth, and our adventure continues to unfold. When we last left our young explorers, Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara, they had just passed the first part of my challenge in the Garden of Discovery and were venturing into a mysterious passage that would lead them to the Chamber of Echoes. Imagine, if you will, a narrow corridor that seems to shift and change with every step. The walls, which at first appeared to be made of densely woven vines, now shimmer with an iridescent quality, reflecting fragments of memories like a living mosaic. The air grows thick with whispers, countless voices speaking in different languages, their words overlapping in a gentle cacophony of sound. "Stay close," Luca calls to the others, consulting their map as they navigate the twisting passage. According to this, the Chamber of Echoes should be just ahead. The passage gradually widens, and the whispers grow louder until they emerge into a vast, circular chamber with a domed ceiling that seems to capture and amplify every sound. The walls of the chamber are lined with thousands of small, crystal-like formations that pulse with soft light in response to the echoing voices. "Wow!" Maya breathes, her voice immediately caught and repeated by the chamber. "Wow! Wow! Wow!" The children freeze, startled by the effect. Even their breathing is captured and echoed back to them in gentle waves of sound. "The Chamber of Echoes," Aiden whispers, and the room whispers back, "Echoes, echoes, echoes." As they venture further into the chamber, the random whispers begin to coalesce into more distinct voices, speaking phrases and sentences that seem directed specifically at them. "Welcome, young explorers," comes a voice that sounds ancient and wise. "Turn back while you still can," warns another, tinged with fear. "The treasure you seek lies to the north," offers a third, confident and clear. "Beware the path of shadows," cautions yet another. The children look at each other in confusion as the contradictory messages continue to swirl around them. "Remember what the keeper said," Zara reminds them. "In this chamber, French is the language of truth. We need to listen for messages in French." They fall silent, concentrating on filtering through the multitude of voices. At first it seems impossible. There are simply too many overlapping sounds. But then Luca remembers something else the keeper mentioned. "We need to use what Éloïse taught us," he says. "The directional terms, nord, sud, est, ouest." As soon as he speaks these French words, a curious thing happens. 4 of the crystal formations on the walls, positioned at the cardinal points of the chamber, begin to glow more brightly than the others. "Look!" Maya points to the northern crystal, which pulses with a cool blue light. "They are responding to the French directions." Aiden approaches the eastern crystal, which glows with the same vibrant green they saw in the doorway that led them to the Garden of Discovery. "Est," he says experimentally, and the crystal flares brighter in response. "I think we need to activate all 4 directional crystals," Luca suggests. "Zara, you take south. Sud, Maya, you take west. West, I'll take north. Nord." The children position themselves around the chamber, each standing before one of the glowing crystals. On Luca's count, they speak their assigned directions simultaneously. "Nord, sud, est, ouest." The crystals flash brilliantly, and suddenly the chaotic whispers in the chamber organize themselves. Now, instead of random voices coming from everywhere, 4 distinct voices speak from the direction of each crystal, but only one of them speaks in French. From the northern crystal, follow the path of stars to find what you seek. From the southern crystal, the door opens only for those who know its true name. From the eastern crystal, beware the illusions that cloud your vision. And from the western crystal, in French, le chemin caché se révèle à ceux qui écoutent avec le cœur. The hidden path reveals itself to those who listen with the heart. That's it, Zara exclaims. The French message must be the true one. But what does it mean? Maya wonders. How do we listen with our hearts? As they ponder this question, Aiden notices something curious about the floor of the chamber. What had appeared to be a solid surface of polished stone now seems to contain faint lines, like the traces of a map, etched just below the surface. Look at the floor, he says, kneeling to examine it more closely. There's something here. The others join him, and together they discover that the lines form a complex pattern, a maze within the chamber itself, with pathways leading from where they stand to various exits around the perimeter. It's another map, Luca realizes, but it doesn't match the one we've been following. He pulls out their scroll map and compares it to the pattern on the floor. While there are similarities, the floor map shows pathways that don't appear on their scroll. Hidden paths, Maya whispers, just like the message said. Zara places her hand on the floor, closing her eyes as if listening to something only she can hear. I think we need to follow this hidden map, she says, but not with our eyes, with our hearts, just as the message told us. How do we do that? Aiden asks, his logical mind struggling with the concept. Zara thinks for a moment. When Éloïse was teaching us French, she didn't just give us words, she helped us feel the meaning behind them. Maybe that's what listening with the heart means. We need to understand the purpose of the path, not just its direction. The children gather in the center of the chamber, studying both their scroll map and the pattern on the floor. As they discuss the possible meanings and connections, they begin to notice that certain sections of the floor pattern glow faintly when they express particular thoughts or emotions. Look! Maya points to a section that brightened when Luca mentioned his curiosity about what lies beyond the chamber. It's responding to our intentions. They experiment further and discover that the floor map indeed reacts to their genuine feelings and desires. When they speak of their wish to learn and discover, certain paths glow more brightly. When they express fear or hesitation, those same paths dim. Je comprends, Luca says, using one of the French phrases Éloïse taught them. I understand. The labyrinth is showing us the path that aligns with our true intentions. As he speaks these words, a clear pathway illuminates on the floor, leading from where they stand to a previously invisible doorway on the western wall of the chamber. "Au west," Maya says softly. "West. That's where the French message came from." "And that's where our hidden path leads," Aiden adds, tracing the glowing line with his finger. The children follow the illuminated path carefully, making sure to stay exactly on the line. As they approach the western wall, what had appeared to be solid stone shimmers and becomes transparent, revealing a doorway that leads into another passage. This wasn't on our original map, Luca notes, unrolling the scroll once more. To his surprise, the map has changed again, with the hidden pathway now clearly marked in a soft, pulsing light. The map is learning with us, Zara observes. It's showing us what we discover. Before they step through the doorway, Aiden pauses, looking back at the Chamber of Echoes. "Wait," he says. "There's something else we should try." He turns to face the chamber and says clearly, "Merci." "Thank you." The crystals around the room pulse warmly in response, and a gentle breeze seems to caress the children, carrying with it a whispered "de rien." "You're welcome." Smiling at this acknowledgement, the children step through the doorway into a new passage. This one is different from the others they've traversed. The walls are lined with mirrors that reflect not just their physical forms, but seem to capture glimpses of their thoughts and memories as well. "The corridor of reflections," Maya murmurs, watching as one mirror shows an image of her drawing in her bedroom at home. "I think it's showing us parts of ourselves," Zara suggests, as she sees a mirror reflecting her gazing at stars from her backyard. As they move through the corridor, the reflections shift and change, sometimes showing their past, sometimes hinting at possible futures. It's both fascinating and slightly unsettling. "Stay focused," Luca reminds them. "Remember, we're trying to find our way back to Éloïse and the Keeper." They continue forward, using their updated map as a guide. The corridor twists and turns, sometimes branching into multiple paths that force them to make choices. Each time they pause and consider not just the physical direction, but the intention behind their choice. Listening with their hearts, as the Western crystal advised. After what seems like hours, but might be only minutes, time feels fluid in the labyrinth. They notice a soft, golden light ahead. The corridor widens, and they find themselves emerging into a beautiful chamber filled with floating lanterns that drift gently through the air like luminous jellyfish. And there, waiting for them with proud smiles, are Éloïse and the Keeper. "Félicitations!" Éloïse exclaims, clapping her hands together. "Congratulations! You have navigated the Chamber of Echoes and the Corridor of Reflections." "We knew you would find your way," the Keeper adds, "once you learn to listen with more than just your ears." The children beam with pride, but their journey through the shifting passages has left them with questions. "How did you know we would come out here?" Aiden asks. "Our map kept changing, and we found paths that weren't there before." The Keeper's eyes twinkle with amusement. "In the labyrinth, there are many ways to reach the same destination. What matters is not the specific path you take, but how you choose to navigate it." "The labyrinth responds to your intentions and your understanding," Éloïse explains. "As you learn and grow, new paths become available to you." "Like when we used the French phrases you taught us," Luca realizes. "They helped us find the true message and unlock the hidden path." "Exactement." Éloïse nods approvingly. "Language is more than just words. It is a way of seeing and understanding the world. Each new phrase you learn gives you a new perspective, a new path to explore. As they discuss their adventure, Zara's attention is caught by something floating near one of the lanterns, a delicate, luminescent butterfly with wings that shimmer with an iridescent blue light. "Look," she whispers, pointing to the creature. "It's beautiful." The others turn to see the butterfly, which seems to glow from within with the same quality of light as the crystals in the Chamber of Echoes. "Ah," the keeper says softly, "you've noticed our little friend, the Papillon de Lumière, the butterfly of light. It is a rare and special inhabitant of the labyrinth." The butterfly flutters closer, circling the children before coming to rest on the edge of Luca's map. As it touches the parchment, a small, glowing mark appears, the delicate outline of a butterfly. "What does it mean?" Maya asks, studying the new mark on their map. "That," the keeper says with a mysterious smile, "is something you will discover as your journey continues. The Papillon de Lumière appears to those who have proven themselves worthy of the labyrinth's deeper secrets. Consider it a sign that you are on the right path." The butterfly takes flight once more, circling the chamber before disappearing through an opening in the ceiling that the children hadn't noticed before. "Now," Éloïse says, bringing their attention back to the present, "you have passed the keeper's challenge and proven yourselves true explorers of the labyrinth. But your journey is just beginning. There is much more to discover, many more paths to explore, and many more French phrases to learn," she adds with a wink. "For your next adventure, remember these. Chercher means search, trouver means find, and découvrir means discover. These will serve you well as you continue your exploration." The children practice these new words, their voices blending together in the lantern-lit chamber. Chercher, trouver, découvrir. As they speak, the lanterns around them pulse with light, as if responding to their words. And on their map, new pathways begin to appear, leading from this chamber to unexplored regions of the labyrinth. It seems the labyrinth is eager to show you more of its wonders, the keeper observes. But perhaps that is enough adventure for one day. The path back to the entrance will remain open for you to return whenever you wish to continue your journey. The children look at each other, reluctant to leave, but understanding that they have much to process from their experiences today. "We'll definitely come back," Luca assures the keeper and Éloïse. "There's so much more we want to explore." "The labyrinth will be waiting," the keeper promises, "and so will we." As our young explorers prepare to retrace their steps to the entrance, they carry with them not just an updated map, but a deeper understanding of how the labyrinth works. They have learned that navigation is about more than following a fixed path. It's about intention, perception, and listening with the heart. And somewhere in the depths of the labyrinth, a luminescent butterfly continues its flight, leaving a trail of soft blue light that will one day lead our adventurers to even greater discoveries. Join us next time, dear listeners, as Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara return to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria to uncover the mystery of the ancient scroll and learn more about the labyrinth's greater purpose. Au revoir et à bientôt, mes amis, until we meet again. End of Episode 4. Episode 5, The Ancient Scroll. Bonjour et bienvenue, mes chers amis. Welcome back to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. I am the keeper of the labyrinth, and today we conclude the first chapter of our adventure. When we last parted, our young explorers, Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara, had successfully navigated the Chamber of Echoes, discovered hidden pathways, and encountered the mysterious Papillon de Lumière, the butterfly of light, which left its mark upon their map. A week has passed in the world above, but for our adventurers, it feels as if no time at all has elapsed when they return to the stone circle in the forest clearing. The afternoon sun filters through the leaves, just as it did on their first visit, casting dappled patterns of light on the compass rose embedded in the earth. "Do you think it will still work?" Maya asks as they gather around the ancient design. "Only one way to find out," Luca replies, kneeling beside the compass rose. With a confident hand, he places his palm on the metal surface and turns it gently. "Allons-y!" The familiar humming fills the air, and the ground begins to shift, revealing the spiral staircase that leads down into the labyrinth. The children exchange excited glances before descending into the magical realm that awaits below. At the bottom of the stairs, they find Éloïse waiting for them, her face lighting up with a warm smile as they appear. "Bonjour, mes jeunes explorateurs," she greets them. "I knew you would return. The labyrinth has been waiting for you." "We couldn't stay away," Zara admits. "We've been thinking about the butterfly and what it might mean." Éloïse's eyes twinkle with approval. "Ah, le Papillon de Lumière. It is a special sign indeed, and today it may lead you to an important discovery." She guides them through the golden passage they chose on their first visit, but this time the labyrinth seems different. The walls shimmer with new patterns, and the air carries the scent of ancient parchment and ink. "The labyrinth changes to reflect your growing understanding," Éloïse explains, noticing their curious glances. "What you see now is what you are ready to discover." They arrive at the Chamber of Introductions, where the round table with its compass rose awaits them. But today there is something new on the table. A small ornate box made of a wood so dark it appears almost black, inlaid with mother of pearl in the shape of a butterfly. "What's that?" Luca asks, approaching the table. "That," says a familiar voice, "is your next challenge." The keeper emerges from the shadows at the edge of the chamber, joining them at the table. "You have proven yourselves worthy explorers by navigating the hidden pathways and recognizing the truth among echoes. Now, the labyrinth offers you a deeper mystery." The keeper gestures to the box. This contains an ancient scroll, one of the oldest treasures of the labyrinth. It holds knowledge about the labyrinth's greater purpose, but only those who have earned the mark of the butterfly may open it. Luca pulls out their map, which still bears the glowing outline of the butterfly left by the Papillon de Lumière. "You mean this mark?" "Precisely," the keeper nods. "Place your map upon the box, and we shall see if you are ready for what the scroll contains." With careful hands, Luca unfolds their map and lays it over the box. For a moment nothing happens. Then The butterfly mark on the map begins to glow more intensely, its light pulsing in rhythm with a similar glow, now emanating from the inlaid butterfly on the box. A soft click sounds, and the lid of the box opens just a fraction. "It worked!" Maya exclaims. "Indeed it did," the keeper confirms. "Now you may retrieve the scroll, but be warned, its message may not be what you expect." Luca lifts the lid fully and reveals an ancient scroll nestled on a bed of velvet. The parchment appears impossibly old, yet perfectly preserved, tied with a ribbon of shimmering blue that matches the color of the puppy. With reverent hands, he lifts the scroll from the box and carefully unties the ribbon. As he begins to unroll the parchment, Éloïse steps forward. "Before you read," she says, "there is something you should know. The scroll is written in an ancient language of the labyrinth. To understand it, you must use what you have learned about navigation, about listening with your heart, and about the power of language to reveal new perspectives." The children gather around as Luca unrolls the scroll on the table. The parchment is covered in elegant script, but as Éloïse warned, the language is unlike any they have seen before. A flowing, intricate system of symbols that seem to shift and change as they look at them. "How are we supposed to read this?" Aiden asks, his brow furrowed in concentration. "Remember what helped you in the Chamber of Echoes," the keeper suggests. "What was the language of truth?" "French," Zara realizes. "The French messages were the true ones." Éloïse nods encouragingly. "Try using the French words I taught you. Perhaps they will help you see beyond the symbols." The children recall the words they've learned, directional terms like nord, sud, est, and west, greeting phrases like bonjour and enchanté, and the exploration words from their last visit, chercher, trouver, and découvrez. Luca begins by speaking these words aloud while focusing on the scroll. As he does, something remarkable happens. Certain symbols on the parchment begin to glow, forming patterns that gradually become recognizable as a map. "It's showing us a new part of the labyrinth," he exclaims. Maya leans closer, her artist's eye catching something else. "Look at these symbols here." She points to a series of glyphs along the edge of the map. "They remind me of the constellations we saw in the Chamber of Introductions." "And here," Aiden adds, indicating another section, "these patterns look like they might be some kind of code or sequence." Zara, with her gift for seeing connections, notices something else entirely. "The whole scroll," she says softly, "is shaped like a butterfly when you look at it from a certain angle." The keeper smiles approvingly. "You each see different aspects of the scroll's message, just as you each bring different strengths to your exploration of the labyrinth. Together you may begin to understand its meaning." As they continue to study the scroll, using their French vocabulary to illuminate different sections, a cohesive message begins to emerge. The map shows a central chamber deep within the labyrinth, surrounded by 4 distinct regions that seem to correspond to the seasons. "Le cœur du labyrinthe," Éloïse translates a phrase that has appeared near the central chamber, "the heart of the labyrinth." And these must be the seasonal regions. Luca suggests, pointing to the four surrounding areas: le printemps, l'été, l'automne, l'hiver, spring, summer, fall, winter. But what does it mean? Maya wonders. Why is the labyrinth divided into seasons? The keeper steps forward, placing a hand gently on the ancient parchment. The Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria is more than just a maze of passages and chambers. It is a living reflection of the world above, changing with the seasons and responding to the cycles of nature. Each region holds its own wonders, challenges, and knowledge. The scroll you have discovered is one of 4 ancient texts that together reveal the full purpose of the labyrinth. This one, the Scroll of Beginnings, shows the overall structure and introduces the seasonal nature of the labyrinth's magic. So, there are 3 more scrolls to find, Aiden asks, his logical mind already mapping out the challenge. Indeed, the keeper confirms, each hidden in a different seasonal region, each requiring a different kind of understanding to retrieve. And the butterfly? Zara asks. What role does it play? Éloïse smiles. Le Papillon de Lumière is a guide and a key. It appears to those who are ready to discover deeper truths about the labyrinth. As you continue your exploration, you may encounter more of these magical creatures, each leading you toward one of the remaining scrolls. As if summoned by her words, a soft blue glow appears at the edge of the chamber. The children turn to see the luminescent butterfly they encountered before, its wings pulsing with gentle light as it hovers near one of the 4 doorways, the one leading north. Nord, Luca whispers, remembering the French directional term. It seems your next journey has already been chosen, the keeper observes. The northern path leads to the winter region of the labyrinth, where the second scroll may be found. But winter comes after fall, Aiden points out, his sense of order momentarily confused. The keeper chuckles. In the world above, yes, but in the labyrinth, the seasons do not always follow the expected sequence. Here, your path is determined by what you are ready to learn, not by the calendar's progression. As the children contemplate this new information, Éloïse approaches with 4 small silver compasses, each hanging from a delicate chain. These are for you, she says, presenting one to each child. Les boussoles de vérité, the compasses of truth. They will help you navigate the seasonal regions of the labyrinth. The compasses are unlike any they've seen before. Instead of the traditional cardinal points, each face displays symbols representing the 4 seasons, with a 5th symbol at the center, a butterfly. The needle will always point toward your current quest, Éloïse explains. For now, that is the winter scroll. But more importantly, these compasses will help you find your way back to each other if you should become separated in the labyrinth. The children place the chains around their necks, feeling the gentle weight of the compasses against their chests. As they do, a sense of connection forms between them, a subtle awareness of each other's presence that wasn't there before. Now, the keeper says, before you continue your exploration, there is one more thing you must do. The knowledge you have gained from the Scroll of Beginnings must be added to your map. Luca unrolls their map beside the ancient scroll, and the keeper guides them through the process of transferring the new information. As they work, the map seems to absorb the knowledge, expanding to show more of the labyrinth structure and revealing the 4 seasonal regions surrounding the central heart. Your map grows as you do, the keeper explains. Each discovery you make, each challenge you overcome, adds to your understanding of the labyrinth and to the map that guides your journey. When they finish, their map has transformed into a more comprehensive guide to the labyrinth, though still with many blank areas waiting to be explored. The butterfly mark now sits at the center with a faint trail of luminescent blue leading toward the northern region. The path to the winter scroll, Zara murmurs, tracing the glowing line with her finger. Indeed, the keeper nods. But that is an adventure for another day. You have learned much today, and the world above awaits your return. The children look at each other, reluctant to leave, yet understanding that they need time to process all they've discovered. We'll come back soon, Luca promises, carefully rolling up their enhanced map. The labyrinth will be waiting, the keeper assures them, and so will the next chapter of your adventure. Éloïse leads them back through the passages toward the entrance, teaching them a few more French phrases along the way. À la prochaine fois, for until next time. Je suis prêt, for I am ready, and ensemble, for together. These will serve you well when you return to explore the winter region, she tells them. Remember, in the labyrinth, language is more than communication. It is a key that unlocks new paths and perspectives. As they climb the spiral staircase back to the world above, the children carry with them not just their enhanced map and new compasses, but a deeper understanding of the magical realm they've begun to explore. They have discovered that the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria is a place of seasons and cycles, of hidden knowledge and transformative journeys. And somewhere in the depths of the northern region, the winter scroll awaits, its secrets ready to be revealed to those who have earned the guidance of the Papillon de Lumière. As the stone circle closes behind them and they step back into the forest clearing, the afternoon sun still filters through the leaves, though it seems to have moved only slightly in the sky. Time in the world above passes differently than in the labyrinth, a mystery they have yet to fully understand. Until next time, Luca says, touching his compass and looking at his friends. Ensemble, they respond together, their voices blending in the quiet clearing. And so, dear listeners, we conclude the first chapter of our adventure in the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. Our young explorers have discovered the entrance to a magical realm, met their guides in Éloïse and the Keeper, navigated hidden pathways, and uncovered the first of 4 ancient scrolls that reveal the labyrinth's greater purpose. Their journey has just begun, with the winter region and its scroll awaiting their return, and beyond that, the mysteries of spring and summer, and finally, the heart of the labyrinth itself. Each visit will bring new challenges, new French phrases to learn, and new wonders to discover. Join us next time as Luca, Maya, Aiden, and Zara venture into the winter region of the labyrinth, where crystalline paths and frozen wonders hold the key to the second ancient scroll. Au revoir, et à la prochaine fois, mes chers amis. Goodbye, and until next time, my dear friends. Thank you for listening. The Volume 1 of the audiobook series, Enchanted Labyrinth, The First Gateway by Jack Jellybean. We publish a new volume every week, so stay tuned for Volume 2.